What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another edition of Neon Trash. You got Tommy the Hammer. You got Johnny Rocket. Tonight on Spooktober, we're going to be checking out the lost George Romero flick called The Amusement Park.
I've never heard of this.
And I'm not surprised about that because it is his lost flick. You guys know this routine.
Oh, yeah.
Check out that motherfucking trailer. Peep that shit. And when we get back, you guys are going to know our opinions on The Amusement Park.
You want your fortune told.
We want to see what our life is going to be like
What part of life?
when we get old.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
You must see it all to the end.
There's nothing outside. I'm going outside anyway. There's nothing outside. Nothing. One of these times, the door will open in your life, and you will step into the amusement park.
No, it's fun. You'll like it. You'll really like it.
Full of hope, anticipation for the future, and curiosity for what you will find there. The man in the amusement park is a mirror image of yourself, separated only by the passage of time.
Why are you punishing me like this?
Hello? There's nothing out there. I'll see for myself. Bye. I'll see you in the park someday.
It's incredibly uncomfortable. Like there's I've seen a lot of other some psychological films where your lead character is in an awful position or just very uncomfortable things. Just you don't like it. It makes your skin crawl and like that. That's totally what this movie does. And it was that was an ordeal. Like I mean,
I'm with you on it, man.
Yeah, and then to have it kind of loop around there at the end, you're like, son of a bitch. Like I had a feeling, when watching the opening, like I was like, I kind of saw that foreshadowing. I was like, man, we're gonna, it's gonna, because obviously it's him talking to himself, right?
Sure.
So you're just like, man, this is gonna come back around, and he's about to go into this amusement park, gonna get his ass kicked,
Right.
And I mean, how horrible to have that, start all over again. You're right there with him, his past self, talking to that present self.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing out there for you, but you don't know. You're naive.
I think when we think about getting old, we think about what the future has in store for us as human beings. I mean, there used to be an old saying that I heard at a very young age where it was, the moment you're born is the moment you're dying. And that phrase always stuck with me because it's true. We're not meant to last as human beings. And so I feel like youth culture or young people kind of, hold on to that youthful energy with a death grip, not to use a pun. But it's true. They don't really look to the future, look to what they will eventually become with a keen eye or with any type of thought-provoking manner.
There's so much to experience when you're young because there is so much out there. Death, old age, it's the farthest thing from your mind.
Right.
You feel immortal without realizing you're feeling that way because you're so busy just experiencing life and all the awesome shit that there is out there in the world to experience.
Yeah. I've never seen an independent film or a horror film tackle the concept or the subject of ageism so bluntly. We've had a number of movies that have maybe touched on some of those talking points here or there. But George Romero's film, The Amusement Park here, wholly devotes itself to this concept. And whether or not you, the viewer, are on its wavelength will definitely decipher whether or not you get into this film, right?
it almost feels like a documentary in
It
a way,
does,
right? Like
yeah.
it's so real and just rooted in reality. Like it's just absolutely great. I mean, and I really relate to this, even though I mean we're almost like at the top of the roller coaster. Like we're just in entering into our mid-40s here. We've still got a decent amount, hopefully, of life to experience. And we've experienced so much, but there's still so much more out there. And it's like it's weird. You still feel like you. Like I still wake up and like I still maybe not physically, but at least mentally, like I don't know, it's still me. Like I still have all my memories of being a little kid, bigger kid, a teenager, a young man. Like I'm still me at the end of the day. So like I see this guy who's like, well, you know what? I'm gonna go out there and I'm gonna experience. Like I don't know what you're talking about. Like surely there's something out there. Like I'm gonna go experience that. So it's like, man,
It's so poignant.
It really is. Like
We're all in the same boat, guys. We're all getting older. Nobody's getting younger. And when you watch this poor old man bumble, tumble, and stumble his way through this surreal, psychedelic experience in an amusement park, you can't help but feel for him. And I think in my case, like the part that really like sunk my heart was the part where he meets the young girl and starts reading her a storybook. Like it's such a small scene.
You finally get some relief. The character's finally like, finally.
Yeah.
He finds that something out there for him.
Yeah.
And before he can even settle in, it's snatched away.
Yeah, I found this to be a deeply profound, and I'm going to say this, like you called it a documentary of sorts, and it is, because the way it begins, we have a monologue, and then we have an epilogue with the same character, and it has nothing necessarily to do with the narrative structure of the movie outside of someone talking to the audience and trying to draw them in to the understanding of the film. And the fact that George Romero filmed those scenes in tandem with his actual movie, like this isn't some like afterthought or something tacked on. This is something that was filmed in the early 70s.
And knocked out, what is it, like 3 days or something?
Yeah, at a meager budget with real people. Like this isn't Hollywood actors. These are people hired in from old folks' homes, from the local area. And that's the other beautiful part about this movie is you get a nice window into Americana 1970s style. I think George Romero is a national treasure. He's made so many amazing films from, Night of the Living Dead to The Crazies to Season of the Witch to my personal favorite probably from the man is Martin. He's got a bevy of films under his belt, and then in the 1980s he gave us like one of the finest zombie films of all time, Day of the Dead.
It really makes me wonder like what he witnessed, because he was still a relatively young man at this point. Like what was he seeing? Like what opened his eyes to the plight of the elderly at this point,
right,
who have no support, who have, are being discarded and looked down upon, to like really try to bring their plight to the forefront here.
Right. The message is the strongest point of the movie overall, and that's going to be the thing that is a focal point of my first star count and my second star count. So my first star count, I'd say this is a 7. And it is a lost film from Romero. So there was obviously something there that maybe he himself didn't necessarily like, or maybe he just couldn't get it released. I don't know the full story. But as Tommy the Hammer, who likes this sort of thing, it's a 10 out of 10.
This, I think a double star count was very apropos here, and I don't know if that's going to be, just kind of the thing when it comes to. I mean, not that this is a documentary, but when it comes to this type of film, because it's so much more than just like a piece of entertaining cinema. Because most of the time, when you're seeing a movie, you're looking to like just unplug, be entertained, and enjoy something. And I really can't say that I was like entertained or that I necessarily enjoyed this. Like on its face, like this was very, very surreal. It was at times tough to follow. It had, I don't know, the most basic of story to it as you follow our main character, who's maybe not the most necessarily likable guy. I mean, it's just some old dude in a suit bumbling around, and it's just like, what am I watching here? I could see this just turning off at least 80 to 90% of the population out there. Because I mean, who wants to see this awful reality, right?
Right.
I have no it's very obvious why this film hasn't seen the light of day for 50 years, because this is not Hollywood. This is not a feel-good story. This doesn't have a happy ending. What is this movie really trying to do? I can see any type of Hollywood executive going, dude, what the fuck are you doing? How am I supposed to sell this? How is this supposed to make me money?
Right.
So that fact, for when it comes to pure entertainment value of a movie, I'm sitting there with a tub of popcorn and going, what the hell? This is terrible. So on one half of this is this gets you nothing.
Oh.
This is zero.
Oh.
Right? But when you look at it from a different perspective and you dig into it just that little bit and see okay, what were they trying? What was George trying to do here? And you go, oh, this is obviously looking to raise awareness from a much maligned segment of society that we're all going to fall into at some point. I'm not going to wake up at some point and be a different, race. I'm not going to be, I'm going to wake up and be some other, maligned, part of society, but
right.
We're all going to get old.
That's right.
And it doesn't matter, like I said, I mean, this was, he was, the main character was a white male, amongst the most privileged in our society, but still he was cast aside and shunned and trod and robbed and beaten.
Yeah. I mean, I gave it a 7, but you even dialed that back down to Zilcho, but I get it because
right. And
this is
I hope you pick up when I'm laying down there, because I'm not trying to shit on it.
No, completely agree.
Right, okay.
This is a particular movie, guys. But I'm so glad that we covered it. I'm so glad that we had this conversation. It, in terms of all the social issues that we have touched on here on Neon Trash, I don't think that ageism has ever been the forefront. And,
No.
There's, like I said earlier, plenty of movies that touch on it lightly. This movie full sends it. And in terms of George A. Romero's Lost film, it's excellent. So with all that being said, guys, I hope we've been informative. Until the next time, tune in to Neon Trash.
And I really hope you guys out there will try to check out this film. If I can give a little epilogue here.
Yeah.
And please leave us a comment and tell us what you think. You know, we're not one of the channels that's going to beg you for subscribes and likes and whatnot. But hey, talk to us.
Yeah. We like talking with you guys.
This is a movie that needs to be talked about, so talk to us.
Push that conversation forward, and we love you guys. Until the next time, adios.
See you guys.